please state your date and place of birth?
May 26, 1970. I was born in Karachi, Pakistan.
What were your dates of service and branches you served in?
I served from May 1996 to October 1999. I served in the U.S. Army infantry.
What was the highest ranking you achieved?
E5 specialist.
Please tell me what you were doing before entering the service.
Looking for the meaning of life. Actually, not much. I was doing odd jobs. I was a gun dealer for a while, legal, and nothing really worth discussing, just surviving.
Did you have any other members of your family in the military service?
No, I did not.
Alright, cut that part. How did you enter the service?
I enlisted.
What were the reasons that caused you to enlist?
As mentioned earlier, I kind of was looking for the meaning of life. I needed some discipline. I got tired of not really knowing what I was going to do, and I wanted to blow stuff up, so I joined.
Did you enlist for any special training?
Yes, I did.
Why did that MSO appeal to this MLS? Sorry, my bad.
I enlisted as an 11 Bravo, which is an infantryman, and then while you're in, you have the opportunity to enlist for additional training. So I enlisted, so I joined as an 11 Bravo, I trained as an 11 Mike, I went to sniper school for 2 weeks, I jumped out of airplanes, so I got jump school training as well. Why did it appeal to me? Because an infantryman is basically the guy in the very front, and I wanted to be that person. I wanted to lead from the front.
What was your occupational specialty in the service?
11 Bravo, 11 Mike.
How was the military food?
It was horrible. But it was horrible, but that was what we had. Is basically eat or go hungry. So we got used to it. It takes a little while to kind of break away from what you're used to at home. So once you get used to that, it doesn't matter. You eat to survive. So it's not a big deal.
What kind of social life was there on the post?
All we did, when you're in the military, you learn to really make lifelong friends. So our social life was our friends. We hung out, we blew stuff up, we fired, we talked about home, we talked about life. We just kind of appreciated each other and just spend time together. These are your brothers. So that's the social life. You didn't really think about anything else. Now there were, of course, the younger ones that were finally free because they're away from home. They can do whatever they want with a little bit of money in their pocket. So they went drinking, and obviously there were drugs and stuff like that. But all in all, it was about just spending time, not getting shot at, a bed to sleep in, just enjoying the simple things in life.
What were the challenges of basic training?
When I joined, I was 26 years old. I was in a group of, my platoon was 56 people. I was the oldest person in that platoon. My challenges were obviously keeping up with the 17, 18-year-olds. I think I did pretty good. And since I was mature and older, I didn't have the ties with mom and dad and family. I was old enough to be okay. So my challenges were a little bit different, and people, my fellow soldiers, they weren't at the same age as I was. So my challenge was really having them understand exactly what I'm feeling versus them missing their mommy and girlfriends and soda. So my challenges were a little bit different.
What did you think about being separated from home and friends?
When I, like I said, I was 26 when I joined. So when I signed that dotted line, I knew what I was getting myself into and I understood the commitment. But I wasn't separated from home and friends. I was at home with friends.
Yeah. All right. All right. Where were your permanent duty stations during enlistment?
I was stationed at Fort Hood, Texas, which is in Killeen, Texas. It's in it's an infantry base. There's 2 divisions. Well, at that time there were 2 divisions. I don't know anymore. Which was the 4th Infantry Division and the 1st Cavalry Division.
What was your unit you were assigned to at those locations?
I was 1st 22nd Infantry as part of 4th Infantry Division.
And what was your job assignment at each of them?
Sorry?
What was your job assignment at each of them?
I was an infantryman. I was a squad gunner, and I was a Bradley gunner as well as part of my 11 Mike MOS.
If you served during the war, which I can't ask you this one.
I can't answer that.
All right. Did you see combat during enlistment?
Yes, but I can't
Yeah, sorry.
give any more details, please. That's fine. Let's go ahead.
All right. Could I ask you this?
Sure.
All right. Tell me all about your most memorable non-combat experience during your career as a serviceman.
Wow.
Or woman.
Yeah, you could have skipped that one part. Most memorable. There's a lot. There really are a lot. It's very difficult because when part of my enlistment as an infantryman, I was assigned to 4th Infantry Division. It was a very active division and we were testing new weapon systems for the US Army. So even when we were not in combat, we were training. So my most memorable non-combat, everything we did, because your mindset is about protecting, defending. You're always in the mindset that you can be alerted at any given time, 3 a.m., 2 a.m., whatever it may mean, and you may have to roll out on a mission. So we didn't have a non-combat type of a mindset, but my buddy flipped a fishing boat with me in it. That kind of sucked. Sticks out a bit in my memory.
Please tell me what medals or citations you were awarded with during your service career.
Wow. We used to qualify once a quarter on our M16s. I always shot expert. If you follow the training, it's really truly not difficult. We got Top Gun, which was the gunnery's highest award. You get Top Gun when you go through live gunnery and you miss nothing, right? This was on the Bradley infantry fighting vehicle. I was a gunner for about a year. I got that. The way citations work in the military, and I'm not gonna talk about combat citations, the way they work is when your unit gets one, you get one. So we really don't like to talk about them unless we really earn them ourselves. Although you do contribute to the unit citation, but if the president's in a good mood and your unit, not necessarily your squad, but someone in your unit did something, courageous, everybody gets a medal. So I don't consider those as earned.
Yeah.
But the biggest medal or biggest citation or award that I got was the Expert Infantry Badge, which you test a week long, day and night. It's about 40 tasks, and it is very, very, very difficult to get. And I'll keep it simple. 600 soldiers applied and 12 got it. So it's very, very difficult, and it tests every single task that the infantry has to do, and it tests it down to every step in some tasks. For example, setting a setting a Claymore mine has like 22 steps, and you have to do them in each step. And if you flip a step back and forth, which could kill you and your buddies, you get a no-go, and 2 no-goes, you're out of the whole competition. So that for me. And then when you go to combat, the first shot fired at your unit, you get a combat infantry badge. It doesn't even have to be at you, it's your whole unit. So I don't really consider that an earned badge, but expert infantry badge.
Alright, that's another thing. You stay in touch with your family.
You write them letters, you call them on the phone, and this is during your active duty, not basic training. Basic training, you're totally locked down. But during active duty, yeah, you call them, you write letters. We didn't have email and stuff, not well, we did, but we didn't. It was 1996. On the weekends, once in a while you have leave, you go home and visit if you live close enough, and you don't have any duties on the weekends. You visit, so you keep in touch with them. But like I said, family was all around you.
How did you feel about the support you and your comrades by American back at home?
We were able to write a letter on a scrap piece of paper and put the address that you wanted it to go to, with no stamp, no envelope, and it would get there. Now, the reason I'm saying that will tell you that something that simple was managed. Had nothing but support. The military budgets at that time were good, and we had nothing but support. Enough ammunition, water, food, medical supplies, whatever you needed was provided, available, and yeah, it's good.
Was there anything special you did for good luck?
I made sure that my battle buddy is trained, and then I prayed.
How did you and your friends entertain themselves?
We found very creative ways to have fun. We would, oh wow, if we were in the field, we were infantry, we never slept. And then as part of every division, there's the support units, like the cooks, the medics, the mechanics, and they're not as hardcore as infantry, and we used to have to do guard duty for them at night while they slept, and they had warm tents and we didn't. So once in a while that we would get really pissed off because they were very comfortable and we weren't, and why would we have to guard for them when they can guard their own, barracks or whatever, AO. So we had these lights, those lights that it's a plastic tube full of liquid, and you crack it and it lights up. Yeah, they're called chem lights. We used them religiously in the military. We used them for everything, to mark where we are, everything. So we'd strip down to our basically underwear in the middle of the desert, and we'd crack these lights open and get them really hot and bright. And then we would cut the lid off the top and pour that liquid all over ourselves, so basically we're glowing. And then we would go scare the crap out of the medics, and because right in the middle of sleep, all of a sudden there's this screaming guy and he's glowing, So we did things like that to entertain ourselves. It was fun.
What did you do when you What did you do when on leave?
Leave? Anytime we got leave, sleep. Sleep. That's the one thing you didn't get a lot of. You didn't get a lot of sleep. There's plenty of food, plenty of entertainment. Just sleep, and just not have to worry about waking up in the middle of the night. Just sleep. Just sleep. And just relax.
And what were some of the pranks that you or others would pull on each other?
So I just mentioned about the whole chem light thing in the middle of the desert. When we were in training or deployed, you would use the restroom behind a rock or a tree. There's no facilities in combat for you. Once in a while, especially during training, we would train, say in the middle of the desert or somewhere out in the training field, and there was a porta toilet that some other unit left behind has been sitting there. So you see a porta toilet, and that's an upgrade from a rock. So, you know, everybody lines up to use it, so you let people use it till it gets nice and full. And then the poor guy that goes in is the last guy, and then you basically tip it over while he's in there, and he's covered in crap, and he comes out screaming, but, you know. And you know, everybody in that line knows it could happen to him, but you ignore it because you just wanna use a toilet. But we did things like that, but it was all fun and games, nothing that would hurt someone, no, it's just all fun and games. But we were mean, we were really, but infantry is a very aggressive MOS. So your attitude, you're taught to be a very aggressive individual, because a tame person won't survive and will get someone killed. So everything that we did was aggressive, but so was everybody around us, so it was all been good fun.
What did you think of your officers and sergeants?
Our sergeants were the most respected people in the military. They train you, they teach you to survive, and they will save your life. And I've had plenty that saved mine. Officers, there's two forms of officers. One is an officer that goes to a college or a university or military academy and gets his rank because he graduated, but he has zero experience. But they're the leader of your unit, but they have zero experience. And the good ones are the ones that come in knowing they have zero experience, are willing to learn. Those guys are okay. We teach them, the sergeants teach them, and coincidentally the sergeants report to them. Imagine that. The officers that are not very pleasant or not good to lead you obviously are the ones that graduate, get their officer rank, and come in pulling that rank and expect you to do as they say, but they don't know squat about anything, right? So, but long story short, sergeants, they're your lifesavers. They'll train you, they'll groom you, they'll guide you, and they'll save your butt. They really truly will. So they were very, very well respected.
What did you think of your few soldiers?
My fellow soldiers,
Yeah.
they're my brothers.
Did you keep a personal diary while you were in service?
It's a personal question. No, I didn't. It's all it was.
Cut that out. Who of your fellow soldiers left particularly memorable impressions of you?
Sergeant David Payne, my squad leader when I first arrived at my duty station. Coincidentally, he was my age. After a little while, I guess I earned his trust. And then we became very good friends. Like I said, he was the same age as I, and he held us accountable, but he saved my life. We had an operation one time where we had to basically clear a room clear rooms of a building, but this was the first entry room. The entryway to the room was off the street, and there was I would say about a waist high step that you would have to come over with no steps to get you there. It was just one hurdle. And the way you clear a room is one at a time. You go in and everybody has their sectors that they have to clear. So you go into one at a time and you have this, and then the next guy will have this, and the next guy will have this, and by that, the whole room's covered, right? And obviously you fire on any enemy. So he was the third in line, and you get tapped on the shoulder, and when you get tapped on the shoulder, that means it's your turn to go, so you go. So when he was tapped and it was his turn to go, I had gone right before him. So he lunged forward to climb that waist-high concrete block, and he tripped and dislocated his knee. So he was basically crippled, but he knew if he didn't get in that room, his sector would not be clear, and I would not be looking that way. So he did not miss a beat. He didn't waste a second. He got there just like someone would, well, not busted me, would get there, probably faster speed. And right when he got in, I had cleared my side of the room, and there was a piece of cardboard, really dark, very dim, but not dim enough to use night vision. And it was a big piece of plywood on the ground, and I didn't notice that it was raised a little bit, not flat. And the reason for that is there was someone behind that, and so when we entered, when he got to where I was, and that was his sector, that piece of plywood flipped open, and someone got up and shot, and he actually stepped in the way and took it for me. So I still talk to him. He's my brother. But yeah.
I want to put that. Alright. What did you go on to do as your career after service?
So when I got out of the military, I wanted to go into law enforcement. I actually applied, got accepted, was about to start training, and my goal was to join the local police department, work my way up, and get into the DEA, because I really wanted to kick down doors and arrest drug dealers, because they destroy our youth and our society. Anyway, so I did join the police academy. Before the actual training started, I was gonna get married, and my brother-in-law said, "You're gonna make 30 grand a year getting shot at. How about I teach you about IT?" And then now I work for Cisco Systems, technical services manager.
Did your military experience influence your thinking about war or about any military in general?
I respect soldiers. A soldier follows orders. We often talk about unfair wars, and people protest and boycott soldiers and talk smack about soldiers. It's not their fault. They signed up to serve their country. My level of respect for soldiers went up tremendously, and if you want to blame someone, blame the politicians, but not the soldiers. I think they do a phenomenal job, and we have the freedoms that we do because of a soldier.
Are you in any veteran organization?
Not anymore. It's been a while. Not anymore. There's smaller online organizations that I'm part of. We help out, the One Dream Foundation, stuff like that. But no, not really. I have my buddies, and that's my organization. I talk to them, stay in touch with them.
Tell me how your service and experience affected your life.
It's given me discipline for sure. It's made me realize that every limit that we have as human beings, other than you can't jump off a building and think you can fly, but every limit that we have, we put on ourselves. It's a mental limit. It's really helped me to overcome my limitations. It's taught me discipline. It's taught me to be confident. And it's made me a better person, a better human being. It's made me a good father, a better husband, because I've seen what's really, really bad, so I can appreciate what's really, really good. And it's taught me to appreciate the simple things in life and just be with family and take care of each other.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
My name is Saad Razi, and I'm interviewing Ahmadul Hassan on veterans experience and a part of 2016 Richland Oral History Project. This interview took place on May 6, 2016, and the given location is Plano, Texas.